with the changes in our policies. It has destroyed our city. Why there's a rise in homicides, aggravated assaults, and smash and grab robberies. Critics say it's a result of California's soft on crime approach, including the ending of cash bail for certain crimes in Los Angeles and San Francisco counties, and the voter-approved initiative that reduced the penalty for property theft for stolen merchandise valued at $950 or less.
All right, shalom, brothers and sisters in this room. Your brother, Mawatu Adawa, I'm coming to you again. Another lesson, Lord willing, to be edifying to those of you who are tuning in. And this is the second part to a video I did last night called His Twisted Wicked Ways. Okay, so there's been some updated information in regards, and you saw in the opening video there, this is coming from the mayor from San Francisco, and her tough stands against what she called to be, people who are resisting changes that they're trying to implement. Now, this article that I'm going to show you today, and I'm going to share that screen with you in the next minute or so, goes in the details of exactly what transpired since then. Okay, you can see how Mashiach is really truly working, his miracles on this wicked queendom. Before we get started, I'd like to start off by giving all glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honor to the teachers, elders, apostles, and brothers from Great Millstone, and also to the brothers who did footnote this truth daily and faithfully, to you brothers and sisters that tune in. Shalom. Okay, so here I'm going to share the screen with you here, and then we're going to go into the scripture here. And basically, when I saw this, what came to mind was springboard on me was the book of Psalms. 10 and start with verse 5. Now, so you can see here, what does it say here? And this is the latest news today. So it says San Francisco officials push back on mayor's plan for troubled neighborhood. Now, this is a very, very, very interesting article, and I'm gonna bring this article out to you. But first of all, let's start off with some scriptures here first. So this is coming from the book of Psalms 10 and start with verse 5, and it says, "His ways are always grievous, thy judgments are far above out of his sight. As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them. He has said in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity. His mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity." Now I'm going to pause right there for a second, because see, when it says full of cursing, okay, full of cursing doesn't necessarily mean you're saying the word like fuck or damn or whatever the case is, or asshole. Now let's find out what the word cursing really means here. So let's type in the word cursing here. Okay, and what does it say?
Curse.
Okay, and it says, and this is just coming from the regular dictionary here. It says, in vocal use, a curse against it often seem as if the family have been cursed. It said utter offensive words in anger or annoyance. Okay. So you see what it says here, utter offensive words in anger or annoyance, okay? And you can see here, what does it say? His mouth is full of cursing, okay, and deceit and fraud, okay? So he's using these offensive words that he's using, okay? These offensive words that he's using in anger, when he's angry, is these accusations towards Jake. Now, you can see here in that video here that this mayor, she's going into a particular neighborhood in Oakland, California, in which she wants to bring in more aggressive law enforcement. Recently, going on in San Francisco, they've had these avatars that look like Negroes, so-called Negroes and Latinos, are going around and doing these smash and grab, for whatever reason. Now, we already know that's been the works, to keep this doggone mayor in so-called in her little imaginary power, and also to fund the police. Them all of a sudden, that the Democrats who just last year were saying that Trump was a bad guy and they don't want to fund the police, defund the police, now want to fund the police, and they want to get past all of the laws that are set in place and where the policemen are supposed to go and approach the citizens here in San Francisco. Now, let's continue on. It says, his mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Okay. And now you're going to see where this comes in like that, because see, let's go into this. I'm going to pause right there for a second. Okay. Let's go back to the screen right here. And I'm going to share the screen here. And let's share the screen. Now, you can see this here. I've expanded this so that you can read this. And it says, San Francisco Mayor London Breed Initiative targeting an area in the city known for homelessness and drug overdose through criticism from some officials on Monday. So, of course, now this is turning, okay? This is where you have these Edomites are going against each other. You have the Egyptians against each other, the Babylonians against each other, okay? Now, it says the mayor's specific plans for the neighborhood, known as the Tenderloin, included more overtime pay for police and allocating more resources, ranging from social workers to public toilets in the area. Breed also said the city would still offer services and housing, but would toughen its stance against those who refuse help, the San Francisco Chronicle reported. Now, why in the hell would you, why do you need to toughen, stance on those who refuse help? Now, see, that's right there and then that should actually get you thinking. And this is the reason why you see, even though this man is roaring and trying to pitch and trying to get his new world order off the ground and, come up with all these deceptive ways in which he can trap Jake and set those snares up there. The fact is that the book has been written by Yahweh Shemaiah Shai. And in no way, shape, or form, Esau is going to be able to do exactly what he wanted to do. And that's why you're seeing right now, as they always say, the cat has been let out of the bag. So, okay, now she wants to go and do this toughened stance against those who refuse help. Now, we already know what is going on right now, okay? You've got the mandate, okay? You've got the additional mandate on top of the mandate, the two mandates that you have to deal with, and then you have the additional mandates, if you catch my drift, okay? So right now, people are questioning that. And you know why they're questioning it? Because, see, not only Jake is getting hurt right now. Jake has always been hurt. People have always been getting hurt. But see, now the rest of these people are getting hurt. So they're now pausing. See, this is the devil against the devil, okay? Let's go into let's continue on in Psalms 10 and 8, and it says, that's Salakia 7. It says, his mouth is full of cursing, deceit, and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity. So this woman, this mayor, this is about vanity and mischief. Because you know what I said about the women, she looks like an Eve, is that they like to prove themselves a lot. Okay. So now let's go continue on. It says, but District Attorney Chester Borden, Board of Supervisors President Shaman Walton and Public Defender Mano Raju criticized the plan on Monday, saying it relied on policies that already failed. Okay. At Monday's press conference, Borden said he was outraged by the suffering in the area, but added that the city can't arrest and prosecute our way out of problems that afflicted the Tenderloin, according to the newspaper. Now, this is where it gets really good. Okay. It says arresting people who are addicted to drugs. And who's addicted to drugs? Who's addicted to drugs? Jake is addicted to drugs. Okay. Okay. Jakes are addicted to drugs. That's your so-called Latinos, your so-called Blacks, your so-called Native Americans, because we're in that situation right now. And this mandate has actually pushed a lot of people who actually was already addicted to that, even into hyper addiction. Okay. Now let's go take a look. Let's finish read this. It said, arresting people who are addicted to drugs, jailing people who have mental health struggles, putting folks who are vending hot dogs or other foods in the street in cages will not solve these problems, and they are certainly not the only tools available. Now, this is interesting, okay? And let's bring it back, because he said, putting folks who are vending hot dogs or other food on the streets in cages will not solve these problems. They are certainly not the only tools available. Now, who do you see selling hot dogs in the side of the street? It's always going to be Jakes, Latino, so-called Negro, Native American trying to hustle their game out there, selling the hot dogs out there. So he said cages. Okay, let's go into Psalms. In Psalms 10 and 8, and it says, he sit in the lurking places of the villages, in the secret places, though he murdered the innocent. His eyes are privily set against the poor. Now let's take a look at how this is done. You see, because this is what the watchman is set up for. Now he's talking about cages. You know what these cages look like? Right there. See, when we've been telling you that this man is rounding you up, okay, you don't believe that they have these things here. They do. Let me bring this up a little bigger so you can see it. See, Jake is stubborn and hard-headed. See, all this is FEMA camps right here. This is where they take you, okay? This is where they're going to take you. See, that's cage. See, you don't believe this? Those are Jakes in cages. These are our brothers and sisters from the tribe of Issachar And many of the tribes are from what the world known as South America, all the way from Argentina, all the way up to Mexico. Okay, look at that, like animals. You know, this is like a doggone dog pound right here. This is what they're putting out people in these things. Okay, and this is what the intention is right here. This is what that wicked doggone queen wants to doggone do. So they want to go into these cages. Okay, and who do they go after? Why aren't they going after the Edomites that out there that just spilling out the garbage, the heroin addict and those doggone people smoking some things that you think they dug that doggone shit off from the doggone moon, okay? The murderers out there, they ain't doing that. And you can see all these people out there. Like I said, I talk about the ones that are out here. You got $1 million homes out here. And these guys, these Edomites out here just throwing garbage and shit and pissing and doing their drugs and needle and heroin. And you can't, and how about you guys knows what else they're doing out there? Because I dare not walk past them. I don't want to get any type of illness from them. Okay. Let's go to the book of Psalm and continue in verse 9. It says, he laid in wait secretly as a lion in his den. He lied in wait to catch the poor. He doth catch the poor when he draweth him into his net. He croucheth and humble himself that the poor may fall by strong ones, which is all his law enforcement and all the other stuff with that. See, they set up these things about we're going to help you and all this other stuff. But you see, when you go into this, it says, last week, Bree declared state of emergency in the Tenderloin. Now, the Tenderloin in Oakland is an area where basically Jake lived, okay? Poor Jakes live, okay? And yes, there is drug addict and all that stuff like that. When you've been oppressed for over 400 years, and even when you so-called out of slavery, which we are not, we are still prisoners of war, okay? Our people is in a declining mental state constantly, okay? And unless Yahweh comes and save us, none of us are going to be left. None of us, even the strongest of us, eventually will succumb to this man. Okay, and that's the reason why Yahweh is going to come and put this man down and save us hopefully lack. Okay, and so we as the watchmen, we are set up to go there and to give our people hope, but also to get our people to come back, turn their way to the power of Yahweh. Okay, so let's continue here. He said the situation in the Tenderloin is an emergency and it's calls for emergency response. She said in a statement on Friday. Now she's not looking to go help them. She's looking again. What we talked about. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity. Vanity is that you want to be known that you went and you did all these changes and all this other stuff like that. Okay. That you were this great because everybody's looking to get their page in history. Okay. Because they believe this wicked queendom is going to continue to go on forever and ever. And if it's not the wicked queendom, if it falls in the second place under China, the Moabites, okay, then it's going to be this wickedness on this earth is going to continue on forever. So if you believe that this society is going to continue on forever, then of course you're going to be vain, okay? And you will pursue vanity, okay? Let me go into Psalms 10:8 before I finish up the rest of that. It says, he croucheth and humble himself that the poor may fall by his strong ones. I mean, that he's tricking you, making you think that he's the nice people. And our people, Stockholm Syndrome, they don't see the injustice of what's happened, okay? In a desperate situation, are going to continuously fall for this, okay? Because imagine, every time you reach your hand out for help, you get punched in the face. You get punched in the face. But every now and then they might give you a candy. So our people have been conditioned to take that punch in the face consistently right there. They've accepted that this is the way life is going to be for them. And this is all they have. You live miserable and then you just die miserable. And it goes on to your kids, and their kids. We're here to tell you, look here, Israel, your kings and princesses, okay? And our king, the fierce one, the Lord of hosts is coming to get us out of this situation. Okay. And he's set man in the meantime to speak on your behalf. We are the witnesses, the two witnesses here. Okay. And that's why we speak boldly. We're not afraid of Esau. We're afraid of Yahweh. Let me finish this up. He has said aside, Yahweh forgotten, yet hidden his face, he will never see it. Esau, you're being seen as we speak right now. And your judgment right now is unfolding as you've seen. Like I said to you in the video, you don't really want to understand because if we got put through this type of hell, and Yahweh Shai said he loves us, he loves Jacob, but I hate Esau. What do you think he's going to do to you? All right. So as you can see here with this wickedness here, she concludes, it's time the reign of criminals will destroy our city. It is time for it to come to an end, the mayor said, and it comes to an end when we take the step to more aggressive with law enforcement. And they're going to grab you and beat you with an inch of your damn life and throw you in those cages. Okay? That's if you make it to those cages. So they're going to drag you and beat you there. And they're going to take out your eggs if you feed females like that so they can put it into those doggone chihuahuas. Okay? And for you males, they're gonna they're gonna turn you into they're gonna cut your private parts off and show you the guillotine. And it says, and it comes to an end when we take the step more aggressive with law enforcement, more aggressive with the changes in the policies, and less tolerant of the bull that has destroyed our city. Okay, so now mind that Esau turns around and has a mandate that's garbage. Now mind the fact that this man has hung us from trees and raped us and killed us. Never mind the fact that Jay can't get. Never mind the fact that the police will kill with impunity. Never mind the fact that you live in conditions that people in third world country look and frown on. Okay, so-called third world country look and frown on. Here's a nation that wastes money, studying, how a snail walks up a wall. Billions of dollars in studying how a snail walks up the daggone wall. But yet still its citizens, which is the people who have broken the back, died, suffered, humiliated, raped, and murdered over 5 centuries, are living and suffering here. Okay. But you now want to go and you calling it bullshit, and you want to say that the so-called minority are the ones causing all the problems. That's okay, Eve. Stick with your enemies, because how shall I have something for that ass? All right. So Lord willing, you were edified here. I just want to bring it out here because what's going on right now is these wicked people are clashing. They're clashing. So they don't like what she's doing right there like that. Because they're kind of seeing right now that the government now has this overreach. How about Shimei Ashai put that spirit when these government have that overreach and saying, you cannot even work unless you bow down to me. You can't have fun unless you bow down to me. You can't fly. You can't do a damn thing, and you better walk around with a damn diaper on your damn face. And see, for once, it doesn't matter what color you are. Well, now I'd like to close out and give all glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem, Rakakadash, double honor to the teachers, elders, and apostles, and brothers from Great Stone. Brothers out there that are putting on the truth faithfully, fearlessly, and to you brothers and sisters that are tuning in. Shalom until the next lesson. DTA, Abal Babal.